Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad and this is Supercoach Pro. In today's video, I scored 2,719 points. Moved up in the ranks, 323, now a season rank of 1,321. Won my finals, so straight to the prelim, I believe, which is great. Hopefully you guys had a big score and don't have to play finals this week. So get stuck in the side and a few discussion points, especially because, I only got 3 weeks to go. So if I reverse my changes, you can see here that I had the VC on Steele. But we'll start from Laird, 102, super consistent. Do we pick him in the midfield next year when Matty Crouch comes back? I'm not too sure about this one yet. Mills, 129, after those 2 weeks quarantining and taking Bianco's score, I'm happy with the 129, just hoping the last 3 weeks he can go 140, 150, 160 to make up for those few weeks that he missed. 118 from Stewart, really consistent, probably doesn't have the ceiling. I think he's only gone big maybe once, 152 against North in round 5, I think it was. But really consistent and probably a good price for next year, so one to look at. Ridley, Whitfield and Short, all three just super disappointing this week. They didn't even make 300 between them. Vice-captain Steele was the way to go. Everyone was doing it, so I went for it as well, and it paid off for sure. Walsh, 141, consistent this gun is, and he kicked a couple goals in the game as well. So good win by Carlton. Didn't see that game, as in that result coming is what I meant to say. 131 from McRae, consistent again. Oliver, 166, absolute tearing apart Gold Coast by 98 points. Merritt, 168, huge again. Has these sort of scores where he'll score 71 1 week like he did last week, and then 168 making up for it. Season average now of 114. So yeah, I like that pick. 190 from Brayshaw, did not see coming. Had the ball on the string. He was everywhere. He moves up to the 16th ranked midfielder, which is really handy now. No idea what's happening to my Supercoach. Okay, sorry about that. Totally threw me off. Yeah, so 16 ranked now. Round 3 average of 132. Can get tagged in games. Has a okay fixture heading home, so hopefully he can maybe make the top 8 to 10 midfielders for the season. Guthrie, 147, perfect Pendlebury replacements. What can I say about this pick? In 15% of sides, his last month has been really solid. 111, 108, 120, 147. Brought him in for these 2 matches, and he's still got Giants, St Kilda and Melbourne to play. Josh Kelly, a little bit disappointing this week. Probably 6 points off where I wanted him to be, just to crack the ton as a bit of a weak M8 here. Bramble, 53. I know people fielded Bramble and Sharp. So this week it has benefited us teams that are, pretty much full primo, apart from damn Norton down here. So it pays off to have a full primo side and not some cheap M8. So yeah, it's nice to have a big score from premiums, and there are a few premiums that will let you down every week. You're never going to have a full side that scores above 100, and if you do, you're winning that weekly prize, no doubt. Grundy, 110, super consistent, 96 from Hickey, not so great considering Gorn scored about 136 or something, so about 40 points short of Gorn, but I didn't pay 200 grand extra for him. Reeves, 112, really happy with my bench cover, obviously shorts on the field, so I've got Bianco, Bramble, Reeves and Waitman. If anyone goes down in the last 3 weeks, touch wood they don't, should be okay. Hall, 128, Zeeble, 106, the perfect Batman and Robin. Obviously, Hall's probably Batman in this sense, for sure. Great pick for 400k. Hasn't gone up too much in price in the last month because he had that 70 in his score. Rowan Marshall was my pick this week for Dusty. So really, in the last fortnight, Pendlebury and Dusty for Guthrie and Marshall is something that could really make me move up in the ranks just by having to get cheaper players at a good price. Sort of helps you score in the end when you've been forced to trade. Hawkins, 77, disappointing. Green, 65, disappointing. And Norton, even worse. Look, don't want to go too much over Norton. He was a good pick before these last month going into the game. Looks a little lost at times. Does Jamar and Bruce, does that affect his output with too many key targets there now? Probably does. Maybe I start fielding Waitman because he, sort of moves higher up in the ground. Maybe he's someone I do look to use as my F6. Which would have been disappointing because my side's pretty strong. If I just had a better F6, or I could loop Coleman Jones or something there, it'd be really handy and I could get a real edge and maybe even score that 2-8 score that I'm looking for. Anyway, let me know how you guys scored. I'd love to know. Look, if you want any vice captain and captain options, leave them in the comments below. I'll tell you who I think would go better. And hopefully you guys won your first final. I won 4 out of 4 leagues, so I get a week rest, so to speak. And yeah, I can sort of play with any VC and C and not have to worry about league matchups, which is nice for a change. Anyway, hopefully you guys had a good week too, and I'll catch you on the next video on the Thursday or Friday. Peace.